Hello guys, and welcome again to our webcast about starter kits. This is about swipe and match. It's a quite brief webcast just to walk you through the main features of this starter kit. Obviously you have on screen me working on Unity 4, but this starter kit, just like all other our starter kit, works on Unity 3.5 as well. Now, this is a brand new project. I've just imported the kit. As you can see, there is just one folder in the assets with a swipe and match folder, and in it you have the demo, iTwin, polling manager, the script folder, and this tiny smcs.rsp file. Now we come to it in a little while. As you can quickly understand, iTwin is the software by pixel placement, which is a standard nowadays in the Unity world to twin stuff around the screen. So this is the script that I've chosen to actually move and slide the tiles on screen, so that everybody will be able to understand it. Everybody will be able to change the twinning without even asking how, because this is a very well-known piece of code. The system has our pooling manager implemented as well to pool all the tiles, the objects, to lower the memory footprint of the kit. The pooling manager is a free piece of code, is a commercial grade freebie by DFT Games. You can get it as an independent asset on the Unity Asset Store as well. Then, the scripts folder obviously contains the scripts. That's quite obvious. As you can see, we have 4 scripts. The main script is obviously swipe and match. The other 3 are just helpers. But now let's go to the demo folder, which is the most important thing that we have to see here. As you can see, there are 2 packages as well that are delivered with the original starter kit, NGUI demo and TK2D, which is a 2D toolkit demo. Do not unpack these if you don't actually own and already have in your project the package related to this. So if you are using NGUI and you want to use NGUI, you first of all import the NGUI package and then you unpack this one. Same goes for 2D toolkit. Okay, so anyway, from a functional point of view, they are absolutely the same. Today here we are going to have a look to how it works using neither of these packages. So we are going to use just Unity for the GUI. Looking at this scene, we have the game scene. So as you can see, the structure is quite easy to understand. You have a game manager, the swipe and match script, a light, and a camera. Top left marker and top right marker are not really needed. These are optionals, and we are going to have a look to these 2 little guys in a while. First off, the swipe and match script. As you can see, there are very little elements here, very little parameters to be set. Let's go through them. Now, behavior to use. This is new to our kits, and with this will be the way we are going to work all our kits. Also, the existing ones will be implementing this approach. So, basically, you may imagine what the match 3 or more tiles does, right? This behavior allows you to match 3 or more tiles on the screen. Wow. or it can be custom. This means that you can actually very easily implement any kind of rule in this kit. Okay, so the game comes with the rules similar to what is that called? Okay, now I'm forgetting the name. I just said that little while ago. It's Swiped Jewels. Okay, that game. And this is the same behavior. So you have to match 3 or more tiles on the screen in a given time. But you can create a Ruzzle, a Ruzzle style game. So you need to create your own special behavior. So you have to go and look into a dictionary, maybe to look at a set of words or verbs or whatever else you need to. You can just code that yourself, and we will be adding behaviors in time if this package is actually going to be successful. That's completely up to you guys. Now, match same type. This is quite important, this flag. This goes with the behavior to use. This tells to the script if, while the user is touching on the screen, selecting tiles, if the software has to make sure that all the tiles are the same. Now, for the match 3 or more tiles, obviously, this checkbox is checked because we do want to match tiles. But for a word game like Ruzzle, we will not check this. Obviously, because you want to allow the user to create words, to select words which are not really made by same letters. Okay, so now going down, this is the prefab, the tile element base. In this case is let's bring it up. As you can see, it's just the tile, the generic tile that will be used. Please note that the collider does not cover the full surface of the tile. This is quite important to allow the user to select tiles over a diagonal or a horizontal line or a vertical line and still be able to compute properly. So this is an important thing. So if you want to use your own tile, I don't see why, but anyway, if you want to use your own tile, do remember to leave a little clearance around the collider. Okay. The parameters, obviously. Let's get rid of this. Okay, sorry. The parameters here are gonna be a little different if you're using the Unity, the basic Unity version, or NGUI or 2D toolkit, because here the element prefab renderer is needed for the Unity version. Is not this will not show up when you define NGUI or when you define 2D toolkit. Okay. Max pieces, well, this is self-explained. How many different pieces do you want at once on the screen? The slide piece sound, this is a sound that you want this script to play. Obviously, if you do want the script to play a sound, you have to add to this game object an audio source as well. This is quite obvious. The padding in between the tiles, do draw grid. This is the flag that tells this script to draw the grid on the screen. Now, you can choose to create your own background for the tiles. You can have a board, you can have a 3D element, nice and fancy. But if you don't want to do that, you just leave it as it is, so that the script will draw the grid, and a very simple grid will be drawn, and now we will see it in a while. It's just one draw call. The mesh is created at runtime using the grid material, which is here, as you can see. Okay, and it's very, very lightweight, so it's nice and good. Use my markers. Here we go. You remember here I said top left marker, top right marker. In case that you do not want the script to compute the position of the grid automatically, you have to put these markers on the screen to tell the script the top left and right position of your board. Okay? This is quite important when you use your own models for the board itself. If you use the grid, just leave it. You don't use it. The grid will do just well. Center on X. This is another flag. Well, it's self-explanatory actually. Do we want or not to center the grid on the screen? You flag it. If you do, if you don't, you just unflag this. If you do not want the grid to be centered on the screen, it will just be aligned on the top left corner of the screen, and these offsets, top offset and the side offset, will be applied. These are in decimal percentage, so this is a 5% on each top and side. And then we have here the element data. Now, these parameters as well are different between this version that we are looking at, which is the standard Unity version, and the NGUI or 2D Toolkit version. In case of NGUI or 2D Toolkit, instead of expecting materials here, it will expect strings with names, just the names. Okay, the names of the elements into the NGUI atlas or the 2D Toolkit atlas. Here we are just in Unity, so it expects materials. Okay, the materials are quite straightforward, as you can see. The nodes, and this is the selected element. The names are not really something that they can be whatever you want. Okay, so basically for each element you must have the standard and the highlighted, the selected. Okay, quite straightforward. Now, the script, and that's it. The script exposes a few delegates, C# delegates, and those are quite important to use the script within your own actual game. Just let's have a look to the demo game manager to understand how these delegates actually work. Okay, this is the demo game manager. As you can see, in the start I set the level time here just a quarter of a second, just for demonstration. Obviously, here you want to have, I don't know, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, that's up to you. This is just 1/4 of a minute for demonstration purposes to show you a couple of things in a while. And the onGUI method delegate. As you can see here, I'm just telling to the script that to the delegate onGUI method, I want to assign this method of mine. So this means that the script in the onGUI event manager will call this piece of code that you see here. Quite straightforward. Using delegates, it's great because you write your code outside of the script, in this case the swap and match, and you just tell it to use your piece of code just like that. Okay, easy, straightforward. Now let's have a look here. This is standard code. As you can see, I have a skin. I begin a vertical, then a couple of labels. I'm showing the points and how many pieces have been cleaned at one time. As you can see, you have access to static elements, so you have the current score, you have the total destroyed pieces, the remaining time scaled, and so on. So quite straightforward. When the game finishes the time, we have a game over here, and this is done here. You see, if not timeout, it shows the time, else it tells it's game over, and you can choose if you want to play again, and we can choose a different board size, as you can see. Okay, this is why I have set just 1/4 of a minute here. Okay, because I want to show you this, and I don't want really you to wait, or I don't want to cut and the video fading in, fading out. Not really good at that. So have mercy and let's run this. Okay, now here the game will run on an iPad, in this case wide, which is pretty good. Maximize on play and go. Here we go. As you can see here, there is the slider. What is those? Obviously, this is the mesh tree behavior. You can see the points. Okay, we are game over. The 1/4 of a minute is gone. So 31 points. The last move I cleaned 4 pieces, and now I want to go and play 5 by 5. As you will now see how this will be completely resized and recentered by the script. Here we go. And again, I can play. I'm not really that good. So, anyway, this works on any supported platform, obviously. Finish. And let's try 8 by 5. Again, as you can see, the grid is nice. You can choose your own material to make it a little bit fancier, maybe, if you don't like this wide grid. And obviously, as a background, you can use whatever you want. So now, if we were to be somehow more realistic, these should have been, I don't know, 1.5 minutes, for instance, right? And off we go. Okay. Now, obviously, I'm showing here just a slider and a percentage. It's very raw. It's up to you to design the user interface. The kit allows you to actually use any kind of system that you like. So then what you're going to use is completely up to you. About the sliding that you see here, this the way the tiles slides on screen is defined through iTween, so you can choose a different way quite easily. The code is completely commented, obviously. Now, here you have a little, but if you are going to have a look to the code itself, this is how it presents. Let's have a look to the actual code. These are the declarations. So the swap and match method, these are the actual code, and this is the place where we are going to actually implement the behavior. You remember I said that we do give you a standard behavior here, and this is the behavior that allows the match 3 or more. You can implement whatever, as you can see here. If let's select it properly. Okay. If the behavior to use is a behavior type match 3 or more tiles, it executes a match 3 or more behavior. Else, well, double check if you have actually or not assigned the check move method. If not, it tells you that there is a missing behavior, or else it will execute your own rule set. So that will be completely up to you to decide what kind of game you're doing. Okay. So this is basically everything. I'm recording this before to submit the final version to the asset store. So I'm going to add to the code a few more comments, because that's the way we do. Okay, so there is already quite a lot of comments in here to explain you what is done and why it's done. But anyway, basically this is it, guys. I hope you have enjoyed this brief presentation, and I hope you will all enjoy the Swipe and Match Starter Kit. Okay, bye guys.